Hi, I'm Lisa with JDS Industries. Today I'm going to show you how you can make a raw piece of wood sublimatable by applying the SubTHAT product. So what you're going to need to start with is your SubTHAT product. You're also going to need a special silicone sheet and then your wood product. So now this wood product, we just picked it up at our local home improvement store. It did feel a little damp, so I did dry it out in the press just between two pieces of paper. I did one side, I pressed it for about a minute at 400 degrees, and then I flipped it over and did the other side for another minute just to draw out any moisture, because the moisture can actually prevent the SubTHAT film from adhering to the product. Okay, but now that I have that done, I did also do a light sand on this just to make sure I had a nice smooth surface. And I'm going to take my SubTHAT product. I actually cut this out of a roll of the film, and this one I'm using today is the matte clear product because I want to see some of the grain from the wood come through, so that's why I'm using the clear. So now on this product there's actually three layers. There is a carrier sheet, the polyester, and a slip sheet that we need to remove. So first we're going to remove the slip sheet, and how we do that is just take a piece of tape, and the slip sheet is on the more slippery side, so you just take the piece of tape and grab it by the corner to get it started and just remove that little slip sheet, and that will show the polyester on the other side, and you just lay it down onto your product. It is a little bit sticky, but not very much, so on wood it actually will not stick that much. Okay, now we're going to put this in the press. And I'm just going to use blowout paper on this instead of the Teflon sheets, just to, again, draw out any additional moisture. So I'm going to put this in the press. I have a blowout sheet on the bottom, and then I have my product with the SubTHAT on top. And then I'm going to use this silicone sheet. And what this does, it is very, very smooth. And so when we put this on top of the product, what that does is it prevents any textures from getting into the coating and then giving us a strange effect. So I just want to lay this on top. It's like even if you put your Teflon sheet on top, there is a grain in the Teflon that will get into the coating and leave an imprint. So that's what that sheet is for, is just to give you a nice smooth surface. And I'm going to put another blowout sheet. Now on this, I'm going to only press it at 410 degrees for about 1 minute and 15 seconds at a medium pressure. And then we'll take this out and let it cool. Okay, let's release the press. We'll take off our blowout sheet and remove our silicone pad. And we'll take this over and we'll just let it cool before we peel off the carrier sheet. Okay, now that our wood is cooled, we're going to peel off the carrier, and it's going to take with it all the excess around it. So you just peel it off, just like that, and we're ready to sublimate. If you see that there are some spots that may not have coated, what you can do, you can coat this a second time to try to fill in those areas. That's no problem. I'll just use the same settings as before. Okay, so now we're going to sublimate this. So I have my transfer here. This was printed on a Sawgrass printer using Sawgrass inks. And I'm going to put this face down, the coated side down, onto my image and get it centered on there. Okay, and just take a couple pieces of heat tape to put it onto the transfer. Okay, just like that. I'm going to put this in the press face up at 400 degrees for only about 45 seconds for this size. If you're doing smaller sizes on the wood, you only have to go about 30 to 35 seconds. But the bigger pieces of wood, just increase your time. So I'm going to put it in the press. And this time I didn't really need any blowout paper because the wood is pretty dry by now. So I'm just going to cover it with some Teflon. And again, I'm going to do 400 degrees for about 45 seconds. Okay, let's once again release the press. Take off our Teflon. And then we'll move this over to our workstation. Okay, now it's time to do the reveal. So I'm just going to tear this down the middle. Oh, this turned out beautiful. So here's our finished product, just like that. Turned out beautiful. The great thing about wood is that it's totally customizable. Like this product here, we just used some 4x2 tiles to make a little mural. You can also do larger pieces as well. This one here is another piece we just picked up at our local home improvement store. If you have a router or a jigsaw, you can cut out all kinds of custom shapes and sublimate them. And one other nice thing about this is that since it is wood, if it doesn't turn out exactly how you want, you can just sand it down and redo it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about the SubTHAT product, you can contact us at 800-843-8853 or visit us on the web at jdsindustries.com or send us a message through our Facebook page.